You're back with Third Degree, and here I am surrounded by fake hair of every description. Now, the media has been blamed over and over again for creating unrealistic expectations and for perpetuating a Eurocentric view of beauty, the long flowing locks that are unattainable by women with ethnic hair, but you can buy that long hair. It's a trend that has created a billion-dollar industry. Weaves, wigs, extensions, relaxing, colouring, perming, all to get hair looking good. Tendai Kunaka was so obsessed with long hair, she took it to another level.
I'd always wanted to have long hair, so to document my journey, I then started blogging.
She uses all sorts of products, including chemicals, to get it straight. In this quest, she is not alone. The ethnic hair industry in South Africa is worth an estimated 800 million rand a year. It's spurred on by the desire to have long, straight hair. Usually in the form of a weave. These can be synthetic or real hair pieces, added to or worn over one's natural hair. TV presenter Bonang Matheba is the poster girl for this look.
I'm a weave queen, and primarily because it just looks good on me.
She's very aware of the role she plays in promoting this desire.
When you are on television, there's a certain level of, an image that you need to kind of uphold, because on TV you don't want to see just a Raggedy Ann that you can see next door. You want to see someone that's like, oh, she's got such beautiful golden tresses. I want to aspire to be just like that.
Thousands of viewers aspire to look like her. And like the women international fashion magazines put on their covers. But many say these aspirational images are unrealistic.
I think for black women, we've always had to negotiate our beauty around media, around white standards, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable.
Local editor of Cosmopolitan magazine, Mpungose, can only recall 2 Cosmo covers that featured black women with natural hair.
I think it is true. Sometimes it seems magazines and the media in general has a bias towards people who have weaves. But I think that's also informed by the beauty companies and what they are actually offering. I think that's where really critically the question lies, if they are showing enough diversity. Yes, in the last 10 years, you've kind of you see more black models, but the skin is still very much, like weaved or straightened, relaxed.
Most of the human hair for weaves comes from India. Gavin Stollar is a local importer.
I bring in hair from different countries, but the best hair that you get in the world comes from India. The majority of the hair in the world comes from India. India is the only country in the world that has a culture amongst its people where they sacrifice their hair to the gods.
Hair is one of India's biggest exports. But how the hair is acquired is highly controversial.
It starts off with a young girl. They'll grow their hair for 6 months, a year, 2 years, depending, okay? They'll go in there and then sacrifice their hair at the temples, all right? And that's to cleanse their soul. The hair is then tied into an elastic band. They're not paid for that. They don't ask for money. There's no point, it's not a sacrifice if you're getting money in return, okay? Then you're basically selling it. And so that's what the fundamental difference is. The next step is that the temples then collect all this hair. They then have auctions.
The cost of the sacrificed hair then escalates phenomenally. By the time it gets to an upmarket salon, it can cost up to 15,000 rand.
Because it's an auction, the price can go up quite rapidly. Now, the temples have cottoned on to the fact that this is globally it's a big market. There are not lots of people attending what's it called, the auctions, but there's a fair amount. There's maybe 10 or 20 top suppliers that attend the auctions. From there, it gets sold to second tier, third tier suppliers who then ship it overseas. The good news is that the money does go back into the community. So it's not like these girls are just doing it all in vain. The money from the auction, that we pay for the hair goes directly to the community to help grow the community with schools, hospitals, etc., etc., etc.
Bonang is aware that the hair she wears comes from temples in India.
You know what? I always say if the women who give their hair, away at the temples know where their hair is going and are happy with the fact that their hair is being used, elsewhere for other women around the world, it's okay. If they approve it and if they've given, the go-ahead for those manufacturers, then it's okay. If their hair is being stolen from them, is being cut using, other violent, methods, that's not okay.
Whether the women who sacrifice their hair actually know where it goes is unclear, as is the claim that the money goes back into the community. After all, temples reportedly made 2 billion rand from hair in the last financial year. It's almost impossible to determine if hair was acquired legally or not. There are simply too many horror stories of hair lopped off in darkened cinemas. What we do know, though, is that something similar happens right here in South Africa. Dreadlocks have become so popular that people with long locks have been attacked, their hair cut off and then sold. Downtown Dreadlock stylist Moyo has heard stories like this.
I've heard some people talking about it. Yeah, the thing is, you see, these days dreadlocks are now getting expensive, you understand? Everyone wants to have dreadlocks. And some people, they are not patient enough to keep their dreadlock this long, you understand? So some, they'll prefer buying from other people.
It's all about instant gratification. Coming up, men weigh in on the hair debate.